Previously on The Insurance Apprentice.
The tasks are going to be tougher than they've ever been before.
Trust and believe I'm bringing strategy.
Some people do see me as a threat, which they should.
There's absolutely no leniency.
There can only be one winner.
Today is not going that well.
I don't want to be a self-appointed leader.
Maybe I'll get to the point.
Quicker, please.
Perhaps I should have taken the position of the leader.
I have serious trust issues.
If people are coasting, they're going to be gone.
Someone is going home today.
We have different personalities.
Well, that's your opinion.
There are a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
It's
Anyone else can take it, not Jason.
I was a little bit shocked.
I'm looking forward to seeing if they're really as harsh as people say they are. If I can ask you just for a moment to close your eyes.
I kind of woke up and regretted that it wasn't a dream.
I'm sick of the fact that there is no clear winner.
You've taken me to Cape Town via Botswana.
I'm very disappointed.
Simon is not as terrible.
Never ever do that again.
Season 10 is going to be a difficult one.
I've been in the insurance industry for over 30 years. I would not enter this competition.
Hello and welcome to The Insurance Apprentice Season 10. I'm your host, Nontutugo Mhlungu. It's a new week and the search for the ultimate ambassador of the insurance industry continues. Following last week's presentations, the contestants got to learn more about each other as well as themselves. While some appeared to be improv masters, displaying the ability to think quickly on their feet, others seemed to buckle under the pressure of the judges' fiery questions. This episode is brought to you by Ami, South Africa's latest underwriter in high net worth personal insurance. By the end of this episode, one of the contestants' hopes of becoming the insurance apprentice will have a significantly diminished net worth. The question is, which apprentice's journey will be coming to an end? This is The Insurance Apprentice.
Last week was crazy. I didn't expect 2 eliminations.
Yes.
Was I the only one that it took by surprise? We were shocked. We were shocked at Nicolene.
We were very shocked.
I think that was a big shocker, and I think also a reality check. I'm feeling a very mixed bag of emotions. Nervous, confused, excited.
Definitely feeling a bit Game of Thrones. Every time I'm like, oh, that's going to be a main character. Gone.
I feel like the tribe has spoken, you know?
I'm feeling anxious. Every time I call someone as being a strong contestant, they get knocked out. I think I'm a strong contestant, and thus I'm worried am I the next one being knocked out as well.
The feedback from the judges felt like I was hit by a bus, and I can still feel it a week later. I barely slept last night.
No, it was insane.
No, I saw the judges walk in this morning and had PTSD as they
Yes.
I think my biggest threat in this competition is Kiba. He's a really, really nice guy. And he knows his stuff. He presents like a boss.
I definitely want Kiba this week.
Yeah, me too.
He was an awesome guy to work with last week, so...
Giba, right? He's quick in terms of thinking on his feet, and that's a strong talent to have, being able to improvise. And I think just to shoot from the hip goes a long way in the competition.
I think Mundy is a very strong competitor, but he did read. And I think the reading of that presentation was a more egregious violation than Nicolene's asking people to close their eyes.
But rule number 1, don't bring templates. Rule number 2, don't ask the judges to close their eyes.
That's true.
Shame, man.
Look, they drew the line in closing their eyes. That was quite insane.
I honestly think Mundy should have been eliminated. It was a marginal gap, but if it was anyone from our group, I feel it would have been him.
I think Shivani ultimately skated through. She nominated herself as the leader for the group, but then didn't really do much leading within the group.
Let's just survive this. That's it.
This is Survivor, not Insurance Apprentice.
Beautiful.
Good luck, guys.
Cheers.
This competition is way, way tougher than I expected. Not that I underestimated it, but even in overestimating it, it's still, it's quite a bite.
Contestants, I'd like you all to close your eyes for a second and imagine yourself in the finale. I'd also like you to imagine delivering an incredible presentation today. Hey, I'm trying to do my job. Yes, the last task was very tough. There was a lot of emotion at the end of it. And I'm sorry to say, but this is just the beginning. I just want to thank our studio sponsor once again, Old Mutual Insure, and also Standard Bank Insure for providing the cast with their incredible accommodation during the filming. We're very fortunate today in that for the first time we're being sponsored by AMI Underwriting Managers, and we have the CEO of AMI with us, who is known to me outside of this competition. So I'd like to welcome Christelle Coleman to the show.
Thank you.
Over to you, Christelle.
Thank you very much. Good morning, contestants. So today's task is a personal insurance task. It's not just personal insurance, it's also very personal to me. The task that we're going to give you today is about creating a personal insurance high net worth individual solution for the South African insurance market. We have a number of competitors in this space. We want you to think outside of what is available in the market. It can be a product, it can be a service, it can be an operating model, it can be a digital solution. Because I've been through this in recent months, recent years, I'm going to be really hard on you. You need to think about South Africa. You need to think about wealth insurance in this marketplace. You need to think about the challenges that we face, and your idea must make business sense. And I want to leave you with a thought. We are here to hear your valuable perspectives as young entrepreneurs in this industry. You have the opportunity to really envision a better future for us as existing players in the industry, to hear what you think and to possibly take your ideas to market. So give it your best shot. Thank you.
Thank you, Christelle. That's a great task. Knox, words from you?
Yeah, sure. Morning, contestants. So last week was a baptism by fire. But to be honest, a lot of you needed it. You have not been taking this competition with the seriousness it deserves. I didn't see anyone show up ready, fighting, hungry, trying to be the apprentice last week.
Thanks, Knox. You've now been divided into your groups, and we're going to mix things up a little bit today. You're going to be pitching on a reality show called The Lion's Den. We are the panel of investors on that show. We'll be listening to your pitch ideas, your product, services, whatever it is that you're pitching, and we will be making a decision on whether we invest in that venture or not. The failure to secure an investment might result in your elimination from the competition. Thank you and good luck.
In a world where everything changes rapidly, where the path ahead may sometimes feel uncertain, choose an insurance provider that's more than just a name. Choose someone who stands by you. AMI, where we understand your risks and treat you like a lifelong friend. AMI, your friend in insurance.
Okay, so what have you taken from the brief? What do they want from us? Just a quick summary.
So they want us to come up with an innovative solution for high net worth clients.
And what do you perceive as high net worth?
High net worth is the 0.01%.
So are you talking about income only, or are you talking about...
High net worth is assets.
Okay.
So the current market, roughly anywhere between 3 and 5 million in assets. That's where they judge you to be of high net worth.
The task is challenging considering the group we have. The power struggle was a little bit of a halt in the beginning. Every idea had a counter idea.
We must answer the question, what do rich people do? What do they want?
Yes,
what
look
do
at
they
their lifestyle.
Let's not
All
give
the
the idea.
time.
Let's just
Convenience.
choose
They
one.
want
Convenience.
convenience.
Okay, next.
They want all of their things in one place.
Yeah, they want to talk
Ideally.
to many people.
Yes.
You know?
One-stop shop.
Yes.
Yes, a one-stop
Next one.
shop.
The brief requires us to be innovative, and it requires us to have a technological solution to the needs of high net worth individuals.
The high net worth individuals love the bespoke stuff. They like tailored to them. They want to feel them like the most important. So we need to make them feel important in some way, shape or form. The challenge itself is making us think quite a bit. Everybody's got all these ideas that they're trying to throw out and stuff, and I think no one's really listening to each other. I'm a bit concerned about how we're going to do actually.
Tell me something about pet insurance, guys. Is there a service of any kind as a VAP that we could offer in terms of that direction? It's really been intense. Everyone's coming up with ideas. I feel like Jason and I are running around saying, okay, how about this and how about this? And yeah, it was completely ignored. I'm silenced.
This is how I want us to approach it, right? We need to have a team leader. It's someone who will always pull us back in the right direction. I think that would be best. I believe in democracy, so we can vote.
I vote for. She had the drive for this. It spoke to her, and I think she's driving this conversation, so I think it's only right that we make her. So we elected Shivani as our team leader. She was extremely passionate about this challenge that we had because she basically hit the ground running with this idea, and we just let her take it in her stride.
So I don't know if it's a possibility to have that relationship between our portal and that app. And I don't know how we can come around that, you know.
I wanted to be team leader on this one, but I prefer to be democratic about it. There's a bit of a misunderstanding of what personal insurance is and how it works.
Personal lines, guys. So it's individual. You can't even mention businesses, right?
We need to identify who we are actually talking to.
We're struggling to find an idea because a lot of the ideas that we're coming with are ones that already exist in the market. So I stood up during the discussions because I wanted one to be heard. Everyone speaks over each other, and there has to be a point where you sort of take control.
We don't necessarily have to create a product that the actual individual will utilize, but the broker can utilize.
Isn't that Flexi Broker already?
The power struggle was predominantly between Mandy and Tristan.
Mandy's personality is quite domineering. In this instance, I've got a feeling that he's trying to kind of push his stuff on us.
The idea of private broker, how could we make it unique?
Was your solution not just creating a new brokerage, which is just a brokerage trying to be more fancy?
Okay, all right.
It's stressful as we prepare. It's coming down to the wire, and I'm not quite happy with where we are in terms of presentation preparation, and I don't think we're prepared enough yet.
Would you rather have one person doing everything or different houses?
So the difference is, right, what is currently out there, although the bank offers it, you have to go in and actually request it.
Timur takes very long to make a point. He repeats himself, he takes up time, and he's not really contributing to the idea. He's just not grasping the concept, and I don't know, I'm frustrated.
You are out of time. And then you all have to pull into one direction and start working on your pitch because you haven't even started with that. So you're going to be super embarrassed if you carry on down this road. You guys need to go now.
Looking at the rate that it's going, I doubt we are going to finish in time. I really feel bad about it. I'm not confident at all. Guys, we are not getting it right. I'm gonna tip you on that.
We are done. We've actually, someone's getting eliminated from our group because we haven't done anything. I'm telling you now.
And who's that going to be?
Probably me, because I took the leader and I'm leading nowhere. But anyways,
Focus.
I want to know what this app. I feel ultimately I'm probably going to go home today because seemingly despite my efforts, I've led the team to failure.
Right now, I think she may have shot herself in the foot because I will vividly state, if I'm asked, that I did not support the direction we're taking. She will have to take accountability, unfortunately.
We've created this. Let's run with it. Let's sell it like our lives depend on it.
No one is the insurance apprentice yet. So at the end of the day, we'll all need to work together to come up with a solution for the task.
All right, presentation looks great. I think we're gonna rock this. Let's go and do it. Let's do it. All right, guys.
All right, thanks.
Welcome back to the Lion's Den. We're ready to hear your pitches. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Lions. We are BPM Technology, and we are looking for 3.5 million rand for 15% of the company.
What's in a name? Is it your family? Is it your legacy? Is it the years that you've spent building your family's name and reputation? What if a picture like this appears on the internet of your daughter and her friends? What is the impact on you, your reputation, your family, your friends, as well as all the strategic relationships that you have spent building? We have a solution that will help protect and preserve your family's good name by providing a solution with a personal insurance partner who targets high net wealth individuals by providing a VAP.
What we as a company do is we specialize in continuous monitoring of both social and traditional media with automated sentiment analysis. When there is an article or a post that contains a flagged individual, it passes through to our AI tools on the back end, which automatically classify what that post's sentiment is. Once it picks up on a post that contains slander or libel or defamation or just is severely negative, it can then automatically flag that post to the individual through their nominated means. That could either be an SMS or an email, but Mandy here is going to explain specifically why we think that as an initial phase, targeting these high net worth individuals with a personal insurance partner is the way to go.
SARS describes a high net individual as someone who earns a salary of 7 million rand per annum and or has assets of 75 million at any one time. And this gives us a population in the South African context of approximately 38,000 people. And that would be our target audience. As the old age saying goes, more money, more problems. And we found through our research that high net individuals are 40% more likely to be affected by some form of slander, defamation, and or bad PR online from a South African context.
We're looking at charging our personal insurance partners about 75 Rand for each policy they want to add this as a VAP to, which gives us an approximate profit per policyholder of about 21 Rand and 50 cents per policy this is added to as a VAP. That would give us an estimated annual profit of between 2.9 and 3.3 million Rand.
The future growth opportunities that this technology can bring has truly blown my socks off, and it should also blow your socks off. The opportunities that exist that are already in the market, we can add our technology to. If we look at other markets, that actually is where the growth happens. We can implement this technology in multiple areas, such as PR firms, media agencies. So it's purely about using the technology to protect your reputation. And I honestly think that we can implement this technology in South Africa in various ways.
We look forward to your questions, Lions.
So my first question is just a very basic question. Did you consider broker commission? Because on this service it would be 20% regulated. So just on your numbers, the 53.50 versus 75, is that a broker commission inclusive, Jason?
Yes, so that is our cost and what we would charge the partner. The broker, well, this VAP can be charged and we can increase the cost. The partner can choose the cost that they want to charge. So the brokers can earn that percentage.
My initial feedback to you is I do think you're a little bit on the expensive side. An idea is only as good as its viability out in the market.
We obviously in this particular idea had to consider that this affects the insured specifically in terms of bad reputation, and you can't quantify in any single instance how much in terms of personal value and or financial they could actually lose in the instance that there is such a loss and or event.
Thank you.
Do you guys know the average cost of a reputational hit that the high net worth individuals may face? The average cost?
No.
So, all you're doing is notifying them and then they're supposed to sort it out for themselves.
We want to notify their chosen person to say, this is what's happened, deal with it.
Also, did you say you were looking for 3.5 million for 15%? Okay, so that would value your business at just over 23 million Rand.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're living in a dream world there.
I want to just give you guys some feedback. So I do a lot of work in PR and media. I work a lot with PR companies. I don't think this is new. And I do believe that your model is very, very ambitious from a numbers perspective. So I have a question. It's a mystery question. Who's going to answer it?
I'm happy.
Okay, Jason, you're going to answer it? Have you decided? Okay, quickly.
Tristan, you decide. You are a leader.
Okay,
You don't want it?
Then
Jason, take it.
No, it's not going to be Jason or Tristan because the two of you can't make up your minds. So let's give the lady the opportunity to make the decision. Would you invest your pension fund in this business?
Well, I don't have a high appetite for risk, so perhaps not.
Okay.
Given the feedback.
That's a good answer. Thank you very much.
Can I add to that though?
No, it was one question, Jason. So I think let's leave it at that.
You're selling something that is a component of products that are already available at lower prices. And you're just too at risk of being disrupted. And I don't believe you've solved the distribution problem. For me, as an investor, I think I'd have to say that I'm out.
I don't think it's a bad idea to start with. I just don't think it's well thought through, and I don't know if I will invest my savings into a business like this yet.
From my side, it's just a market research issue, guys. You should have anticipated this. You should have come with very clear-cut distinctions from the rest of the firms that already offer this. I appreciate your response. You handled that well. But generally, I'm also out at this stage.
Thank you. Good luck.
In our group, who I think is perhaps the weakest link would have been, I suppose, Anifa.
My concern would be Anifa would be prejudiced for not speaking as much in the presentation.
Tristan, I mean, where he fell short today was in terms of communicating the execution.
I felt like I messed up a little bit on my part. Just I didn't say enough.
I think Jason was a standout. In fact, I definitely see him now as one of my main competitors.
Welcome to the Lion's Den. Perhaps appropriately, we've got some thunder happening outside. Hopefully that's not a bad omen for you, but we're really looking forward to hearing your investment pitch today. The floor is yours.
Good day, Lion's Den. We are InnoPers, as in Innovative Personal Line Solutions. Our team is Keba, Temwa, Reynard, and myself. Temwa will begin our product walkthrough.
Who is our big fish, or in the Lion's Den's terms, the big elephant? We are referring to high net worth clients. We refer specifically to those individuals who have net asset values of 10 million Rand and above. Why we decided to go with 10 million? Well, we wanted this concept to be realistic, scalable, and adjustable as we go.
The current insurance model is undeniably a working system. No personal lines insurance policy is complete without its general multi-peril policy. Our aim is to incorporate add-ons to improve the customer experience of our high net worth client. Essentials that we have identified in serving this client is meeting the forever growing expectation of a speed of service and additionally and particularly large asset protection.
It is really, really difficult to break away from the standard within the personal lines insurance industry. The products are standard, the deviations are very little, and if you've tried to do it, anyone has done it 100 times before. When we get down to the crux of it, the things that we're protecting around our client is not just his assets, but the things that he really cherishes, like his family and their safety and protection. Things like kidnap and ransom policies for when they're traveling overseas, as well as travel insurance while they're traveling overseas to cover both medical necessities and emergency situations.
So our suggestion is, if you insure with us, on top of just basic insurance, we will offer you emergency special asset rescue. What it means is, while you are there, if we have a storm working together with South African Weather Services, you'll get a notification in the app telling you that, hey, there's a storm heading to this risk address. You will then approve for emergency rescue. We will appropriately send our service providers to access your property, retrieve that beautiful painting or artwork, and take it to a place of less risk.
Given all the above, I believe that we are sustainable, creative in our approach when it comes to dealing with your clients, safeguarding their assets, safeguarding their loved ones, and making sure that this business, through critical infrastructure, makes this scalable in an infinite scale.
Now, unfortunately, I must apologize. We have skipped a slide. And that is personal surveyors. What this service does is it sends a personal surveyor to where the asset is to actually assess and evaluate those assets right there. And these services include wear and tear of the assets to get the actual value or servicing is needed, checking if the license disc on the vehicle needs renewal and doing that automatically in our value-added service, and also liaising with the personal assistant.
Is this your, would you say out of all the stuff you've mentioned, that this is your real, like this is the stuff that you're really pushing, you know, that this is what makes you different?
This is a value-added service, so it's not the main concept.
It was just when you said you skipped it and now you've gone back to it, I got the impression that you were saving this for last because it was just so good.
No.
Am I misunderstanding?
No, so we did skip the slide. It wasn't supposed to come at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just went back to just...
I think you could have left it skipped, actually.
My partners and I do believe this is a viable business solution, and we have raised 175 million of our own capital. And we would like
an investment from you, buddy.
175 million.
We would like you to invest an additional 175 for 50% of the business. Thank you.
Thanks for your pitch.
I would love to start.
You have to start.
I have to start.
Your wheelhouse.
Okay, guys. So, who's the sponsor of today's episode? Ami. Okay. What does Ami do? Don't answer me because this is what we do. This is what you've described. We do all of it. But you start your presentation with an insult. You say, the personal insurance space does not currently cater sufficiently for high net worth clients. And I strongly disagree with that. You know, if you look at the pitch that I gave you, or that we prepared, we said there are gaps, identify the gaps, come with a cohesive offering that will take us forward. But really, you don't start with your investors and you insult them on the first line.
I think the wording was poor. It's not the intention to insult, anyone. We did fail to put the words together eloquently to carry our message across, which is not that it's a bad market, but we want to improve on it. We did mention in the first few slides that it is a good model and we don't want to recreate the wheel, but we want to add on to something that's existing and works well.
I have a few comments, but happy to...
I have 0 questions. Just one comment. I felt like I was yanked out of my sabbatical to sit through a class of business training, because other than the painting, I heard nothing new.
I do want to understand more about the asset rescue storage service. Whose idea was this?
So
this is actually your unique selling proposition.
South African Weather Services can tell that a storm is approaching within 24 hours. That's when you get the notification for us to fetch. So we are able to say, now let's schedule for our clients that have responded, what time and what would be best.
I hear you some rustling.
Sorry. Okay, so it seems that according to your USP, it focuses specifically on weather-related perils. Am I getting you correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so explain the scalability of your solution in detail. You guys have asked for 175 million.
I believe there are enough people in the country with such assets.
So your source is just trust me, bro.
For me, it felt like you didn't really apply any critical thinking around the numbers. You took what is already in the market and you just kind of positioned it with different words. If I have 175 million rand, I would not invest it in something like this. So I am out. At this point, definitely yes.
I think there was like a spark of value in your idea, but you came in not understanding your markets, not understanding that all of this already exists. For that reason, I'll keep my imaginary 175 million, and I'm also out.
I haven't decided yet, but I do want to know who's the leader in this group.
I was.
Okay, and you embraced this idea that you would basically replicate an existing insurance business and add on to it, granted an innovative idea about asset storage.
Yeah, look, we weren't sure on how to sell this add-on of the rescue plan to other insurers. So we thought maybe we can do a holistic approach and have it all.
I think that would have been a better idea, actually. If you'd expanded on it and said, we're a VAP provider or a value-added service provider and we want to...
That was Reinhardt's idea, and in hindsight we should have followed through with it, but unfortunately I did make the decision to go through with a holistic policy.
Simon, before you pull out, perhaps we can give you a different offer, because it's more than capital that we're looking for, it's also expertise. And we feel that you coming into this business, you would give us ideal expertise to actually expand on this idea that Gibafense has given.
Okay, I'll reserve my judgment for when we get you back in here. But thank you for your presentation. Good luck.
I don't feel very well about my performance today. Not my best. Yeah.
The weakest performer in today's task was Shivani. She was the only one that was reading through notes.
Sometimes people need to put their egos and their personal needs aside for the greater good of collaboration.
If you're gonna come to me and sell me something and I can see you reading, I'm not buying.
All right, so we've heard both presentations. Christella is the sponsor. How did you feel about the presentations?
Not hell of a impressed.
I literally want to melt thinking the fact that the judges are out there deciding my fate.
Last week was very unpredictable. I could literally be on the chopping block.
What were you really hoping for?
I was just hoping for a little bit more spark, a little bit more innovative thinking, really thinking about this, the distribution of the product.
As far as the comments from the judges, there's always obviously this position they take of not being overly impressed.
When you're out there and you're presenting and you're doing what you need to, you kind of know how you fare, and you're not always going to have a good day, and if it's not in your favor, it's not in your favor.
There was a blow up that was going to happen.
It was brewing.
You could argue that it was going to come out anyway, so you might as well own it.
Do we ever do enough to make it through to the next round?
What I realized today is having a winning mindset and being prepared to win at all costs can also be a negative. And for that reason, that person really stood out.
I feel more confident than last week. I'm just praying that what I'm feeling does manifest.
I think that team were the clear winners today. Are we in agreement there?
Yeah.
Okay, get that out the way.
This is definitely
Okay. And I'm glad that that happened because we did ask that of them. So I feel even though they missed the brief, I think we're starting to see people shoot for the stars, you know, think out of the box.
I think we did enough as a team to hopefully come out on top and for all of us to be safe from elimination.
I think the big challenge, though, is who in that group should be the one that goes home.
Considering Shivani's performance, I do think I do stand a good chance of not going home this week.
I feel this team was suffocated by one person. And this specific person. And wherever this person would have gone, it would have been the same result.
Knowing that every small detail of your presentation is being judged to decide whether you're going home is nerve-wracking.
That individual got obviously outvoted by the leader. Good ideas are only as good as the execution of them.
I know it's not an easy decision to come to. I think let's get them back in here. I think it'll become apparent how we need to deal with this.
If I'm not on the chopping block, unfortunately it would have to be the leader. You want to get rid of a snake? Cut off the head.
Welcome back, contestants. Once again, I'd like to thank Old Mutual Insure for this amazing studio and, of course, Standard Bank Insure for our accommodation. And I just want to thank Christelle Coleman and Ami for putting this together for us and sponsoring this particular episode. I'm going to hand straight over to you, Christelle.
Thank you. I think you learned this afternoon that even in a hypothetical environment like we have here today, it's really hard to start a business. It's hard to come up with an idea, with a business case. And it is even harder in real life. So don't be fooled. Being an entrepreneur is not easy, but it's very rewarding. Congratulations with the effort. It was a first-class effort. Thanks for having me.
That's great feedback. Thanks, Christelle, and a strong message. Knox?
For the first time, I felt something. Some of you exhibited sparks of brilliance. In case it's not clear, you guys really have the opportunity to do something special here. And you're being asked to answer some really cool questions. Where do you want to see the industry going? What ideas have you always had that you want to see come to life? That is the task before you as apprentices. What innovations, what changes are we bringing about? As young people that are going to be future leaders, what direction are you taking this industry in? Keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thanks, Knox, and I think wise words from somebody who's stood where all of you are stood right now. Team 1, could you please step forward? Today's presentation, you were really asked to be innovative and to come up with some ideas that I guess were able to be executed and to research the viability of a plan. We felt like that was really lacking. But you certainly achieved more than Group 2. Which is why today you are the winners and you are all safe. Please step back. Which brings me back to Team 2. Could you please step forward? I think that the presentation that you came out with had elements of innovation. There's no doubt about that. But I do think that we were left with this feeling that there was a leadership that was perhaps uncertain. There were a lot of things that went wrong in this group. Shivani, you were obviously the leader of the group.
Correct.
That's correct. Who was responsible for doing the research before making the decision?
On what decision, sorry, I forget.
The decision to go with what was really nothing more than a mirror image of every other personal lines policy that's out there.
I just made a decision based on the ideas that were the most viable between Reynard and Keba's idea, and I said we need to pull it together and just work on this. And due to the time constraint we left ourselves in, we delegated.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Keba, I mean, you had this creative idea, but it didn't sound like you guys had enough time to sort of flesh this out, work out exactly how it was going to work in practice. Is that accurate?
Initially, that was my initial idea.
Right at the beginning?
Right at the beginning.
So why didn't you guys start working on it straight away?
It was not believed to have worked, but I believe that if we took the time...
Sorry, just it wasn't believed to have worked. So are you saying you suggested this and then you decided as a team not to work on it and then you went back to it again? Like, it was believed by who?
Unfortunately, with our team leader, it didn't seem...
With Shivani?
Yeah.
We've had this scenario come up before. It's not our first rodeo as such. And when it does come to this, what we do is we let the team decide who should go. So today, what we're going to be doing is getting you to write down the name of the person that you think should be leaving the competition next. So you'll be handed some paper and a pen, and I want you to write down the name of the person that you think should leave the competition. Rain, will you please reveal who you voted for?